Hi. So here we are now, 4 months into this lockdown. So we're the middle of July 17th, and we're being told we have to wear masks on buses. We have to wear masks in shops, supermarkets especially, and it seems quite normal to a lot of people. A lot of people just say, "All right, we've got to wear masks," and they're going out and wearing masks. And then you have the other side of the population that are actually questioning, why do we have to wear masks? I'm one of those people in particular. Now, I'm asthmatic and I have breathing difficulty, touch wood. Luckily, I'm not diagnosed with COPD, but my asthma is quite severe. And I know, and I've been told, wearing a mask is detrimental to my health. I actually phoned my local GP and asked if there was such a thing as an exemption certificate for me not to wear a mask. I was looking for any support that I could get to enable me not to wear a mask if it came to it. The receptionist said they're actually waiting for clarification from the government at the moment that will not be released till the 20th. Now we know compulsory mask wearing is from the 24th of July. So it doesn't leave a lot of time for people to be notified health-wise that they don't have to wear these masks and for them to actually get their certificate to use as in proof. So we're being told we can go to football matches as from October. We can mingle in these crowds, in sports facilities mainly. There are still rules that crowds can't gather more than a certain amount of people. I believe it's six now, is it? Can't gather in crowds. But when money's involved and when it becomes a sport such as football, baseball, all these big high cash generating sports, all of a sudden in October people can meet now and go in these crowds, and I just think, you know, how obvious does it look? You know, these sports are losing money because people can't mingle in crowds, yet all of a sudden we're allowed to now because they're feeling the kick. These sports are used as distraction for the masses. It keeps them from looking at this political agenda. It keeps them looking at anything else that they might be looking at now during this lockdown period. As I've discussed before, I try to look at the truther side of things, and I try to delve a bit deep and do a bit of research now and again if I can. It seems quite positive at the moment, and people are thinking, right, okay, things are slowly getting back to normal. And we're being told come November, December time, there's going to be, whether you call it phase 2 or phase 3 of the coronavirus lockdown. And it's supposed to be more severe. The restrictions are supposed to be more severe, and we're supposed to expect a lot more deaths than have visibly been seen. And it's supposed to be the worst thing we've seen in our lifetime, and this is hanging over us. When's this second phase coming? When's all these deaths expected? Are we at risk? And it's all a play factor. So we're being told wear the mask. For what purpose are we wearing this mask? Well, I certainly won't be wearing a mask. For what purpose are we being asked to wear a mask? What is the purpose? Subservience? So why aren't people questioning this subservience? Why aren't people saying, well, if it's not protecting me while I'm wearing it, it's just to give the nod to say you are doing what you were told to do. I don't mind doing what I'm told to do, so long as I know as an intelligent person what I'm doing is not going to bring harm to me and is not going to bring harm to my family or anyone around me. I know wearing a mask is not going to keep me or my family safe. And I know I'm not going to wear it just to be subservient. It doesn't make sense. It's a ball of confusion.
It's so dark. Um, well, maybe I have to just do it when we get back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do a bit of it now.
Yeah.
So
Saying what?
Having to go for a walk at 10 o'clock at night when Dad's had his got his nighttime carer. It's safer anyway. There's nobody out now.
Yeah.
It's safer. Yeah, that's a nice light.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you look like you're not that little.
I'm on a hill.
It's safer. We're doing our walk now because Dad's just got his overnight care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we're in darkness again now. Right, I've got everything. I've just watched the last of those films through.
What films?
The clips that Ian sent
I've
through.
only seen the first one.
Looks so sick.
You look sick.
Yeah, one of them. I look really. I'm thinking you can see where I wasn't well.
Really?
Yeah, because I just look like a ghost.
I probably look the same now.
You look well, but you can see like before and after.
Can you? Well, you're gonna, aren't you?
What?
You're gonna.
Yeah, but I didn't know to that extent. Hi. So I'm back again where I started, sat at the dining room table in a very different frame of mind to what I was when this project started out. At that point, I suppose the main reason for me getting involved with the project was optimism, and it was about wanting to counter the contempt. I think that's the right word. The contempt that some stratas of society can have for areas like Skelmersdale, and we were wanting to showcase what was wonderful about Skem and wonderful about the community. And I think the irony in all of this is that COVID came along, the debacle of managing it came along, and I think, and in my opinion, that's illustrated contempt on a massive scale. This face is the face of rage, loss, grief, and exhaustion. I lost my mum on the 17th of June after she contracted COVID in an NHS hospital. Up until that point, we'd managed, by being good citizens, following the rules and doing everything and being responsible and taking this thing seriously, very, very seriously, in order to keep not just our immediate family safe, but, our community safe. And we were doing well, and we were, because, we were able to focus on what was essentially important. But then my mum was admitted to hospital, and she was discharged with COVID, and then that actually, spread through the family. And thankfully, we're very lucky, but we weren't too ill. But when I say rage, I don't want anyone to think, oh, it's rage because that's what you feel when you've lost a loved one. It's much bigger than that. It's rage because we are governed by a bunch of cavalier, arrogant people. We've all been thrown into this pit, and we don't know which way is up. And we're all dealing with our individual issues, be they, loss, but, a financial struggle, just loneliness, isolation, mental health. But that mustn't stop us from seeing what has actually gone on here. It's like we were given this sort of faux, we're all in this together. And it's a bit like, the British Bulldog spirit, and he's likening himself to Churchill. And actually, for 5 Cobra meetings. He wasn't present for 5 Cobra meetings. I mean, God, I was only ever a team manager, but if there was a crisis, I was there. I worked weekends and I worked evenings. But that man has weekends and evenings off and has working holidays where we're told that the briefing box has got to be really short because he's got a lot to deal with. When in fact what he was dealing with was his divorce settlement. I mean, it's beyond shameful. And then the contempt and arrogance of, everyone else has been told not to shake hands. We don't do this, we don't do that. But, okay, then we'll be fine. I'll continue to shake hands. Shaking hands and putting people at risk. Everyone else is stopping, France and Ireland stop mass gatherings. No, we still go ahead with Cheltenham and Madrid. Then we abandon all the mass testing and then we reintroduce it, and then that's a mess. And then we're giving these flip-flop messages all the time. And it just makes me think that although they set out at the beginning to say they wanted herd immunity, and then they realised that that was completely unpalatable and unacceptable, they've actually tried to provide herd immunity by the back door, because how else could we have the number of deaths that we've got? I mean, it doesn't seem to me as if it's by accident. It seems that it's like deliberate. I mean, deliberately opting out of going into that sort of like purchasing partnership with Europe about buying PPE. The debacle about the T-shirts from Turkey. I mean, yeah, I am, don't think, oh, she's on a rant and she's a woman obsessed. That is too easy to dismiss this. What I know is that my mum and a lot of other people died in awful circumstances. She was an elderly woman, and I know that she could have died, but she could have died at home, or she could have died in different circumstances, but she didn't. She died in awful circumstances along with thousands of other people. And it's criminal. That's all I can say. It's criminal. And I have to try and not to think about that, because it's going to drive me crazy. But at the same time, we're now going to have an inquiry into all of this. And you know what? It's that lame approach. Every time in this country, every time there is like a national catastrophe or a major mess up, for want of a better word, I'm trying to be polite because it's on camera, we have these inquiries, and then somebody in a suit comes out with a press release and says, it is regrettable, lessons have been learned. But you know what? Lessons are not learned, and they will not be learned, because they don't need to learn the lesson. But we need to learn the lesson that these things aren't going to change unless we do something about it. I can already see that it's just drifting off the agenda. People are trying to put themselves back together, and that's survival, isn't it? That's the defense mechanism. But I am devastated, and I know that lots of people are devastated, and it's so short-sighted, because it's like this immediate, it's about let's protect the economy. I understand that. We do need to protect the economy, and we do need to get back. But the lack of foresight of understanding the long-term impact on our collective well-being and the economy by mass trauma. I know I'm not effective, and I don't think I'll be as effective. I don't know whether I'll ever be as effective again, because I am. We've been broken and damaged by this experience. Anyway, that's all I want to say, really. And it needs saying.